Some motorcycle myths don't just waste your time. They destroy engines, and most riders never see it coming. Passed around like gospel in garages and forums, these so-called tips are the reason some bikes never see 50,000 miles. From over-tightening bolts to spraying the wrong chemicals where they don't belong, these aren't harmless mistakes. They're slow, silent killers. Today, we're exposing 9 deadly maintenance myths, ranked from careless to catastrophic. If you care about your ride, your safety, and your wallet, you need to know what's coming. Subscribe now, because believing the wrong advice is dangerous. Ready? Let's dive in. Myth number 9. WD-40 is chain lube. Catastrophe score 3. A mess, but not murder. Ah, yes, the universal elixir of the garage, WD-40. Got rust? WD. Sticky bolt? WD. Need to lube your chain? Stop right there. If you're using WD-40 on your motorcycle chain thinking you're doing it a favor, you might as well be feeding your O-rings a spaghetti dinner. See, WD-40 is a water dispersant and light solvent. It's not a lubricant. It'll clean grime off the chain, sure, but then it keeps going, seeping into your O-rings, drying them out, and degrading the factory grease that keeps your chain alive. Over time, cracked seals, dry rollers, and one sad, squeaky chain that wears out faster than it should. Instead, use actual chain lube, the kind that's O-ring safe, sticks to the chain, and doesn't evaporate in 10 minutes. Bonus: clean your chain first with kerosene or a proper chain cleaner. Then lube when warm after a ride. Done right, you'll double your chain's life and avoid spraying lube while your buddy shakes his head. And on other things that'll make your buddy shake your head, there's another myth that only your grandpa should believe, but you're still holding on to it today. Myth number 8. Let it idle for 10 minutes to warm up. Catastrophe score 4. This one's popular with Sunday morning riders sipping coffee in the driveway while their bike sits there coughing like it's allergic to idling. Truth is, letting your bike idle for 10 minutes to warm it up is wasting gas and doing more harm than good. Modern engines are designed to warm up while riding, not sitting like a statue. Prolonged idling can lead to poor fuel atomization, which washes oil off the cylinder walls and creates glazing. That's right, you're slowly polishing your cylinders into low-compression junk. And if you're in cold weather, idling even longer makes it worse. Do this instead. Start the bike. Let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds max, just to get the oil circulating. Then ride gently for the first few miles. That warms the engine and protects internal parts. No coffee break sacrifices required. If you think this was bad, wait until you hear about those that prefer cosmetics to actual performance. Myth number 7. Shiny tires mean good grip. Catastrophe score 5. We get it, you want your bike looking showroom fresh, but spraying silicone or tire shine on your rubber so it gleams like a glazed donut, that's not grip. That's a crash waiting to happen. Silicone-based sprays might make your sidewalls look slick, but if any of it touches your tread, especially near the edges, that surface becomes a slippery disaster. One good lean into a corner and boom! You're meeting asphalt face first. Riders call it the instant low side polish for a reason. Here's what to do. Clean your tires with soap and water. Nothing fancy. Want shiny wheels? Fine. Just never spray tire dressing on the tread and mask the rubber if you're detailing. Your tires are meant to stick, not sparkle. Remember, grip saves lives. Gloss sells bikes. You know what doesn't sell bikes? Myths like this that destroy them, and others that are just plain laughable. Myth number 6. Car oil works fine in motorcycles. Catastrophe score 6. If you've ever been told oil is oil, that person owes you clutch plates. Motorcycles with wet clutches, which is most of them, need oil that does more than just lubricate. It also has to prevent clutch slippage and tolerate shared engine and transmission stress. Car oils, they often contain friction modifiers meant to help fuel economy in cars, but in bikes, those same additives turn your clutch into a greasy slip and slide. Best case, you'll feel sluggish acceleration. Worst case, you'll be replacing a fried clutch pack while wondering why your engine suddenly sounds like it's full of marbles. Do this instead. Use motorcycle-specific oil that meets your mechanic standards. Whether it's synthetic or mineral, make sure it's built for bikes. Save the car oil for your grandma's Corolla. Your transmission and clutch will thank you. If you're still with us, subscribe to our channel. Your bike will thank you. Myth number 5. Only change the worst brake pad. Catastrophe score 6. Oh, just change the one that's worn down. Save a few bucks. That's the kind of advice that ends with you trying to stop at a red light and feeling your bike shudder like it's got PTSD. Changing just one brake pad, or even just one side, is asking for uneven braking pressure. The older pad grabs slower, the new one bites harder. That mismatch leads to uneven heat, rotor warping, and eventually a front end that judders like a jackhammer when you hit the lever. Worst case, you toast your rotors and end up paying for new pads and discs. Also, it's not just about stopping power. Uneven wear messes with your ABS, brake feel, and balance, which matters a lot when you're leaning into a curve or doing emergency braking. Do this instead. Always replace brake pads in pairs, both sides of the caliper, or both calipers if dual disc. Check the rotors for wear and clean everything with brake cleaner while you're at it. A full set of pads cost way less than a hospital bill or a warped rotor. Myth number 4. Tap water's fine for coolant top-off. Catastrophe score 7. You're topping off your coolant and think, what harm could a splash of tap water do? Well, imagine pouring a mineral smoothie into your cooling system. That's what you just did. Tap water is full of minerals like calcium and magnesium. And once they heat up inside your engine, they start forming scale deposits. Those deposits cling to your radiator, clog small coolant passages, and turn your efficient cooling system into a boiling mess. Worse, depending on your region, tap water can also be corrosive to aluminum, meaning you're slowly dissolving your radiator from the inside out. Over time, the mix of scale, rust, and electrolysis can damage water pumps, corrode cylinder heads, and lead to full-on overheating. All from just a little tap water. Here's the fix. Use distilled water only, or better yet, pre-mixed motorcycle coolant. If you're mixing your own, make sure it's distilled water and silicate-free, phosphate-free antifreeze designed for aluminum engines. A $10 jug today saves you a $500 meltdown tomorrow. If you're looking to prevent another meltdown, don't listen to myths that sound too simple to be true, like this next one. Myth number 3. Tighter bolts are safer bolts. Catastrophe score 8. You're torquing down a bolt and think, one more for good luck. Bad idea, Hercules. Over-tightening bolts isn't extra safe. It's a shortcut to thread stripping, bolt snapping, and in some cases, fork leg failure at highway speed. Motorcycles are engineered with precision. Every bolt has a torque spec for a reason, to keep tension balanced across components without overstressing materials. When you over-tighten, you stretch the threads, crush gaskets, and sometimes even crack casings. And in critical areas like the front axle pinch bolts or triple clamps, that extra turn can compromise your entire front end. Do this instead. Invest in a torque wrench and follow your bike's service manual specs. For non-critical stuff, hand tight plus a quarter turn might do, but for load-bearing fasteners, don't guess. Don't wing it. Torque it. Your bike and your bones will thank you. They will also thank you if you do constant checks on its parts, like the valve. Myth number 2. Valve checks are obsolete on modern bikes. Catastrophe score 9. Modern bikes are engineering marvels, right? So surely the old school valve adjustment stuff is outdated, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Believing valve checks are unnecessary is how you go from smooth idle to my engine sounds like it's eating gravel in 6 months. Here's the reality. Valve clearances change over time. As parts heat, cool, and wear, the gap between your cam lobes and valve stems shrink. If the gap gets too tight, the valve doesn't fully close, which means hot gases leak out, overheating the valve, and eventually burning it up completely. Once that happens, say hello to a head rebuild or even a new top end. That's thousands of dollars, all because you skipped a $100 check. Symptoms creep in slowly. Hard starts, rough idle, lower compression, maybe some ticking, but by the time you notice it, damage is often already done. Here's what to do. Check your service manual and stick to the valve inspection intervals, usually every 10 to 15,000 miles, depending on the bike. Don't assume it's fine because it sounds fine. Some of the most catastrophic valve issues start quietly. If you're not comfortable checking clearances yourself, pay a shop. It's preventative medicine for your motor. If you think this myth was really bad and quite shocking, then our number 1 would blow your mind away. Myth number 1. Fuel stabilizer? Nah, I'll just start it once a month. Catastrophe score 10. So it's winter. You tuck your bike away, maybe throw a cover on it and figure, I'll just start it once in a while. It'll be fine. Wrong again. This myth cost more riders fuel pumps, injectors, and entire weekends of rage than almost anything else. Modern fuel, especially the stuff with ethanol, is a ticking time bomb when it sits. Ethanol absorbs moisture, and in as little as 30 days, it begins to separate from gasoline and form gummy deposits. That junk clogs injectors, varnishes your throttle body, and can destroy your fuel pump, especially on bikes where the pump sits inside the tank. And that once-a-month start, it doesn't get the engine hot enough to burn off moisture, and you're probably making condensation worse in your fuel system and exhaust. Congrats, you just created the perfect environment for corrosion. Here's what to do. If your bike will sit for more than a few weeks, add fuel stabilizer to the tank and run the engine long enough to get it through the injectors. Better yet, fill the tank to the top to prevent condensation. Plug in a battery tender and don't touch it till spring. Come back, hit the starter, and ride. No clogged injectors, no $400 fuel pump, just go. And there you have it, 9 motorcycle maintenance myths, ranked from meh to you probably just blew a hole in your wallet. Some of these might have sounded harmless. Some you've probably done. Heck, maybe you're still doing one of them right now. But now you know better, and your bike will love you for it. Confess in the comments. Which myth got you? Be honest. We've all believed at least one, and if you're that guy who still uses WD-40 on their chain, we're praying for you. Hit like, smash subscribe, and make sure you watch the next video on your screen. See you on the next ride.